There's that Sanskrit shloka, I don't know, but it says something about Sthan, Kal, Patra. The place, the time, and the participants in whatever is going on. And Tushar and Sunil already alluded to the sacredness of this sthan. We also know today is 12th of March, 85th anniversary of Dandi Kuch. Patra, I can't believe that I'm sitting here with Elaben on one side and Professor Yunus on the other, and to be treated in the same ranks as people that I worship. So I'm sorry to be so moved, but in some ways I feel like this Sabarmati, it looks beautiful, right? But those of you who are not from Ahmedabad may not know that the water is from the Narmada Canal, and it's been pumped from a siphon 10 kilometers upstream. So I was just like the empty Sabarmati river, which has been filled with inspiration of the great work that all these people have done before me. Why do I care for the work that I do? Thank you. The question is, why doesn't the rest of the world care for this issue? To me it is kind of obvious it's obvious what Elaben said, that poverty is violence with the acceptance of society. Poverty is moral collapse. It's what Jean said, poverty is the complete lack of expression of solidarity to each other, not recognizing the humanness in each other. And it's what Professor Yunus has said many times, that it's possible for us to have a situation where poverty will be in a museum and people will go and see it. And then, of course, we'll need a curator. So therefore, the question is not why do I care for it, but what is the most effective way to sort of express that care. And this is where the engineer in me takes over. I'm trained in engineering. And so my mind is permanently damaged to think of the world as problems to solve, rather than just to be in it. And to solve problems, we try and have mental models built out of theories, and then we identify what are the dependent variables and the independent variables, and then we try and identify relationships between them, and we experiment, and then we come up with some things that work, and then we try and upscale them. So that's what I've tried to do in several ways in the field of livelihoods. Although I came into the development work through education by participating in the summers in the Hoshangabad science teaching program that Anil Sadgopal and others used to run at Kishore Bharati. But both education and health were two fields I felt were essential for development, but that there were well-established professions taking care of them. Most important human need, which was livelihoods, there appeared to be no profession other than the relatively ineffective profession of economics, Jean, with apologies, and I felt that that's what I should work on, to convert livelihood promotion into a profession, something that has rigorous theory, something that has practice that is subjected to peer review, something that builds knowledge out of practice, and then eventually makes a difference. And makes a difference not at the level of models or not at the level of pilots, but where the world is our stage. And so every decade I learned something. In the 70s, it was appropriate technology which seemed to be the mantra. We were all inspired by Schumacher. Then we learned that technology is not enough. There is something known as society, there's something known as politics. And then one started understanding the world political economy, and working in the field became very, very conscious of the kind of work that Aruna ji has done, that Medha has done, that Shankar Guha Niyogi did. But I personally never had the courage to be like them. I can only admire them from a distance. I'm deeply aware of my own limitations, and I feel that I can best contribute to society through being a professional in solidarity with the poor, and that's what I've tried to do. In the process, one learned a lot. One of the things that one learned was that to make a difference at scale, where you really think of the world as your stage, you have to learn to deal with capital, the world of capital. And 20 years ago, when a farmer I knew died in the process of raising a loan for a simple 5 horsepower diesel pump with some plastic pipe, I swore to myself that I'll set up a bank for the poor. First came to see Ilaben and then went to see Professor Yunus in Bangladesh. Learned a lot from both of them. Did not copy them totally. Thought I was trying to improve on their models. And in my own way, I think we've made a contribution to the world of drawing capital to the world of poor. But whatever one has done is still very, very ineffective, because if you look at the Indian banking system, not even 0.5% of the net bank credit comes to the poor of India. And this year we'll have $1 trillion economy and $1 trillion credit system. Not even 0.5% of that. Not yet $50 billion comes to the poor through the banking system. Rest is all left to the Mahajans, and that's where they go. So finally, the thing that I've not learned, and since the morning I've been sort of very emotional about it, is that both the simple bhajan of Narsi Bhagat, Vaishnav Jan, to Tene Kahiye, by the time one reaches the third line, I don't live up to it. Jean, I think I do live up to line 1. I do feel solidarity, genuinely. But, yes, up to that. But thereafter, something as simple as that one is not able to live up to. Forget about the Ekadashi Vrat of Gandhiji. So I think the problem that I have lived with all my life is that my efforts have been asymmetric. Too much effort at wanting to change the world outside, and too little to change oneself. So if there's one advice I'd like to give to आप लोग जो अब परिवर्तन करना चाहते हैं, पहले अपने ऊपर परिवर्तन की कोशिश करिए, उसके बाद दुनिया अपने आप बदल जाएगी। धन्यवाद।